I mean, obviously this was a character you chose out of all, Jared giving you all the choices. What would draw you into picking this guy? Because moles are kind of kept in the dark and they don't get fed very well. And
I didn't want to play a guinea pig. There's nothing about a guinea pig that I respond to. They're just a little too cute and cuddly and domesticated for my tastes. I need an animal that has a long tail that looks like he says, "I dare you to pick me up." And also I wanted to do something different with my voice. I knew that if I played one of the guinea pigs that they'd want more of my own sound. With a character that looks like that, I could go and try to channel Mel Blanc and do something different, more of a Looney Tunes character.
well, I was listening to it. It sounds like my Auntie Nellie, who would be chuffed. But that getting to that place, I don't know whether you find yourself physically kind of contorting because of the fact that you are bringing out that the great Mel Blanc, as you mentioned, doing all these wonderful voices. I guess there's a certain degree of physicality about getting into that sort of where that voice comes from, or.
The voice actually, I call it my stress voice. It comes from a place where if I've done like 4 weeks of night shoots, rather than resorting to profanity or yelling, I just go up an octave or two in my voice, and then everything seems ridiculous to me anyway, and I start laughing. So when Jerry came to me and asked me to be in G-Force, I was already there, and I said, "Well, can I talk like this?" And he said, "Absolutely." And then when we were making the G-Force movie, I'm in a box. And I'm just sort of riffing. I don't have the pressure of the camera on me. I don't have the pressure of other actors and whatever mood they may be in. I'm just able to go. And so I didn't have to think about it. It just came out, and it was actually quite fun.
I know that this is your sixth collaboration with Jerry Bruckheimer, and you've just finished your seventh here in New York. And when he came to you, here's a man who's brought us, stoned pirates and gay Air Force pilots and wise-ass kangaroos. And when he came to you and said, "I've got a bunch of special agent gerbils," I don't know whether you just said, "Of course," or whether you thought, "What?"
No, I mean, I have to know that I can do something with it. I mean, I did say what, but I didn't. I didn't. I didn't want to play the guinea pig. It just, as I said, it's not me. Originally I thought, well, maybe the Fly would be good, Mooch, but they said that character doesn't speak, so I had to go with Speckles, and I think it was a good choice for me. I was a little surprised that Jerry was going in this direction because I wasn't sure that he wanted to make a full-on animated 3D movie for children, and I was touched by it that he does, and that he a
little part of you kind of doing this for your own son, the sense that it'd be nice for him to have something early on that he can watch that his dad's involved in, because quite a few of your movies would be just a little bit older. And
it's not like that. I'm not one of those actors that said I did it for my kids. I mean, I do it for all children all over the world. I think in this day and age, it's getting harder and harder to keep kids smiling. People are losing their jobs, families are tense. Anything I can do to contribute to that. There's nothing more sacred than the magical world of children. And if I can make movies that the family can look forward to sharing with their kids like a ritual, then I feel like I'm doing something right. And I want to make more movies like this, or like National Treasure.
Two very quick things, I know we've got to wrap up. The first, just before the cameras rolled, we spoke about our last interview and the way some fools commenting on our meeting in London for knowing felt that you were not a happy man at the end of it, but they're obviously wrong, because we're very close and we get very deep together, don't we?
Well, I think we have good interviews together.
Yeah.
I think someone made some comment, but it was not accurate.
I'll have them hunted down.
All right, well, shot. You don't have to do that.
Okay. And the very last thing is, I was reading just recently with the shoot for the Sorcerers Apprentice, that the very fact that out of 38 days, you got 32 days of rain, I think Jerry Bruckheimer said, and then there was 2 unfortunate crashes where people got injured on set. And of course, in the same way that some people will always think that David Bowie comes from Mars, and they will always think that Nicolas Cage, who's from Saturn Films, has a little bit of the kind of black magic in his mind, and somebody kind of came to the conclusion that you brought in a voodoo priestess to get rid of a curse on the film, and of course you denied that. Is it kind of humorous to you that people still assume, because of your taste for castles, and you've always liked the kind of left field part of culture, and I don't know whether you think it's just humorous to you now that people would think such things, or whether it's you feel, well, I do still have an interest in that sort of.
I mean, it is humorous, first and foremost, but I think that, as I said before, there's nothing more sacred than the magical world of children, and I think I try to keep the child in me alive as much as I can, and so I can make these movies and hopefully entertain children and their families. But I think Walt Disney had a huge effect on me as a child, hence the the castles and the various haunted mansions and things that you're mentioning that may have given me a reputation, but I am in no way interested in black magic.
So you've no powers, no?
I wouldn't say that, no.
Rock and
At least
roll.
not powers that you may be suggesting.
Rock and roll, lovely to talk to you, man.
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah.